Let's check this out, man. Rich Dad Poor. Damn, this video is 45 minutes long. Fuck. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that. Damn, everybody's talking about academics, bro. Everybody's talking about academics. That's the only thing going on, dude. What the fuck? I don't know, man. What do we,
Next up today, Spotify and UMG deal. Now, I didn't know what to make of that because the last thing I heard about Spotify and UMG was that Drake was mad at both of them, and then they was all sitting in a room together, and then Drake said everything's okay and took his lawsuit back off the table, and then Spotify's like cool, and UMG's like told you, and then that was it. But I guess before all of that, and underneath and aside all of that, Spotify and UMG are working on a new deal. Part of the way Spotify works is that they have to make deals with the big record labels, the big rights holders, to in order to have a license to play all the music that they have. So supposedly, that's where the majority of the money goes, because Spotify as a company usually doesn't post even having made a profit because of
yeah, apparently they've never profited. Yeah, I don't know. This shit's fucked up.
apparently most of
Which is crazy to think, dude. Think about that. Like, I understand some people made a living off of streaming, but if the company and the platform itself isn't profitable, like, how profitable is like using the platform? You know?
deal. Part of the way Spotify works is that they have to make deals with the big record labels, the big rights holders, to in order to have a license to play all the music that they have. So supposedly, that's where the majority of the money goes, because Spotify as a company usually doesn't post even having made a profit, because apparently
If you've
most of
been
the
on
money
YouTube,
that they bring in from their hundreds of millions of subscribers, I don't know how many, hundreds of millions might be, it might be an exaggeration, but apparently most of that money goes to the rights holders. So they've made a new deal with UMG, which I believe is the biggest of the rights holders, and I'm very interested to see some of the details and try to parse this out a little bit, because I keep seeing headlines about how this deal is supposed to be good for the artist, cause that makes my little antenna go up, my little bullshit
there's no such thing. How about that?
antenna go up. It makes my bullshit detector go ping, 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 ping. Cause I don't remember any in any experience I have with the history of knowing about Spotify and Universal Music Group, them being concerned about artist welfare in the least. So I want to see what this new deal is talking about. Spotify
Nothing.
UMG deal. Spotify and UMG deal could create pricier super fan subscription. Interesting. Spotify and Universal unveil far-reaching deal that improves bundling.
Now, look, I'm not against them charging more to use their platform. You know what I mean? Because that would be good. I mean, that would at least make them profitable, bro. You know? I'm just saying.
Payment structure. So that makes my mind go crazy
Doesn't seem like a stable thing. You know what I mean?
already, because bundling, as I'm aware of it, is a thing that like big artists like Travis Scott and Nicki Minaj, they'll put on their website new album available, and then you'll have a bunch of options to click with prices, and it'll sell you like a hat or a face mask or some chain mail with the link to the album download in it. And so then they count all of these physical sales with their album sales. And that's how a lot of them go super double, triple chocolate platinum, is they include these bundles with their downloads, and those numbers get included in their sales. So my first question would be, if that's the same bundling they're referring to, what the fuck does Spotify or Universal have to do with that at all? Like that's
They
something
want to
that
be in on
I
it.
feel like started happening on the individual artist manager level, and had nothing to do with streaming.
Now it
So
does.
is this Spotify
Hey, Mike. Now it does.
and Universal angling for a piece of revenue that's got nothing to do with them?
You got it.
And this is what's supposed to be for the artist? New Spotify and UMG deal.
Well, it's gonna let like I guess it's gonna let the kid who got the DistroKid account going, put out a couple songs, and made like a printful store to be able to bundle his project with merch to his 28 monthly listeners.
Deal could create pricier.
Which, by the way, what happened to all the talk about you know, the new payout threshold where they don't even pay you for your streams until you hit 1,000 on a song?
Superfan subscriptions. So look, they're going to try to pass this off as something that's more beneficial to artists. But there's a very simple thing that Spotify and UMG could do to make things more beneficial to artists, and that is give artists more money per stream. If they were interested in making things more beneficial for the songwriters and the artists that provide the product that they merely distribute to people and collect money for the experience of interacting with, what they could do is take less money themselves and give more money to the artist. That's the very easy way to make things more beneficial for the artist. But I suspect that's not what this is talking about. I suspect a pricier superfan subscription means their pathway towards potentially giving more money to artists is to ask for more money from the consumer, which seems wildly unnecessary to me.
I don't know. I disagree, though. I think that the you know, especially with Spotify, like you don't have to pay a monthly at all to use it. Like I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because music's already so devalued. You know what I mean? I don't even know how much Spotify costs. It can't be more than $10. But like $10 for everything, you get people used to that. You know, it's gonna be I don't know. It's not a good thing for people to get used to because even with like I feel like TV kind of had it right. You know what I mean? Because with streaming, as far as TV, right? It used to be cheap, right? It used to be Netflix is like $7, and that was the only thing you needed. You know what I mean? That's the only thing that mattered. Now you got Netflix, you got Disney, you got fucking HBO, you got Paramount, everything. There's a Hulu, there's a fucking thing for everything, and you got to pay for all of it, and it's just as much as fucking cable. You know what I mean? Or whatever the fuck you had before, you know, and it snuck up on you. They got that shit right. Music didn't figure it out. You know what I mean? Because really with music, it's like, okay, you can get Apple Music and just be straight and not need Tidal and not need, you know, Spotify and all that other shit. You can just pay for that and maybe pay for YouTube and you're good. But like with streaming, as far as movies, TV shows, you got to pay for 100 different fucking things. And that kind of devalued that shit. But yeah, dude. Imagine if each label had their own like streaming service. That shit would be fucking crazy. And like how hard would that be? But the labels already do like own, I don't know if it's a majority percentage of Spotify, but they already own a ton of it.
Spotify and Universal Music Group have signed a new multi-year agreement that could result in a tiered subscription approach aimed at providing extra perks for superfans. This is already fucking stupid as far as I can tell. Because again, everything about perks and superfans, This is stuff that could, should, and has been controlled by the artist and the
This is fucking stupid though.
artist management. We get to decide what the extra perks are because those extra perks typically cost us more
That's crazy. They're kind of trying to make it look like it's more direct to
money
consumer,
or
right?
time to produce, and we give our fans the option to engage with these things or not engage with these things. Like there's people who only listen to open mic eagle music. There's people who would like to experience Open Mike Eagle's Patreon, which includes demo versions and unreleased versions and all of this other content. And I appreciate it mostly because Spotify and my music distribution is completely out of this equation. They have already set up a relationship where they've decided that they're going to charge what they charge and they're going to pay me fractions of a penny per stream, which necessitates all of this extra perk shit in the first place. So it sounds like they're creating the conditions where artists need to sell extra perks and they somehow want to be a part of that too. The two didn't announce any specifics, which
Yeah, dude, now that I think about it, I think the way to fix this in favor of artists is for each label to kind of have their own streaming service. You know what I mean? Because, you know, Nintendo just launched a music streaming service where you can only stream Nintendo music or some shit like that. And I bet you the musicians who made that music get paid way more for those streams. I'd like to see those numbers, dude. Those probably really good.
which is fucking
Is what I
interesting,
think.
including the number of years the deal lasts. But you
Even though that sounds like a fucking nightmare, you know what I mean? Which it is. Just buy the fucking music, you know what I mean? If each label had their own streaming service and kind of pushed, you know, buying the shit, I think it'd be a way better situation.
UMG says it's consistent with the streaming 2.0 vision it presented to investors. I clicked this earlier, and it takes you to so it takes you to this PDF.
Whoa.
That to me, we were talking about cults earlier. This feels like some shit where Fat Joe comes out in an ill-fitting suit and tries to sell me on Universal Music Group Capital Markets Day. What type of sick holiday that is. Forward-looking statements, presentation. I'm not even probably legally not even supposed to be fucking showing this, but it was on the article. It was linked to it. I didn't steal it. Okay. Capital Markets Day, Sir Lucian Grange, Chairman and Chief Executive Officer, Universal. Well, what is this shit? What is this old stuff here? Oh, EMI Recording Studios. Okay. We've been seeing so much Nazi iconography in the world lately. I saw these black and white photos and my nervous system was like, no, what is this? Okay, and these are musicians they've taken advantage of throughout time. Let's see how many of them are even still fucking alive. God, you know what I end up thinking about so much when these music companies talk about their relationships with artists and how important all that shit is. Like, you know firsthand, especially as a fan of like underground hip hop, you know how many artists that these record companies have left dead in the gutter. like artists like back in the 90s that they would sign to like 6 album deals and then put out the first album and it does okay, put out the second album and it does okay, and then they shelve the third album and won't let them out of the contract, and these motherfuckers have no life skills, no way out of the deal. They can't get paid no more for nothing, and they end up fucking dead in the gutter. Like, and it's like, yeah, these are all the success stories, but god damn, the tragedy of all of the people that this industry has fucking failed. That's why I was really mad during COVID, during the George Floyd protests, when the music industry was like, let's do black squares. Let's do black squares because that'll help the musicians
Well,
and the
I mean, dude, my Instagram's a black square, but it's not for that reason. It's
black people who feel unfairly treated
just throwing that out
by
there.
being killed at the hands of the police. We're the music industry. We should do something. What should we do? Let's put our head.
Yeah, I mean, celebrities always do like super disingenuous shit. You know what I mean? In every industry, they're fucking celebrities. They're psycho.
It's together. Oh, I know. Black squares. Black squares.
Right.
Fuck. I swear, capitalism is fucking atrocious. And I don't know, man. We as artists, we just have to figure out some new way to interface with commerce because this is some bullshit.
Out the trunk, bro. You got to do it out the trunk. Use your resources. You know what I mean? But go with that out the trunk mentality, bro. For real.
This thing is supposed to be about some streaming.
That's what I tell everybody, bro. If you're gonna have your shit on streaming, just treat it as a commercial, as an ad. You know what I mean? But like, you know, the bigger part of the funnel. You know what I mean? Treat it as the funnel. You know. And just have people, you know, if they like you enough and your shit's good enough, they'll become, you know, fans or friends, you know what I mean? And then they'll buy your shit, spend a little money on you, you know what I mean? You get that with enough people, you can quit your job, you know what I mean? And just make music all the time.
2.0 endeavor that I still quite don't understand. Oh, okay. And we'll improve streaming 2.0. Oh, God.
What?
Okay, so now they're tracing the history of digital music. Download to own. So this is the iTunes model. 0.4 billion users. Streaming duopoly, which is Apple and Spotify, 0.6 billion. Big four streamers, which is Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon Music. How big is Amazon Music really? And YouTube.
It's probably
Music,
huge.
0.9 billion. Now, look at this little deadly corner over here. I'm going to move the chat box for a second so y'all can see this. This area right here. Social plus scale regional streamers, 9.5 billion. So Instagram, Snapchat, WhatsApp, Facebook, TikTok, 5.3 billion.
Yeah, all those streams
With
started to count.
Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube Music, Deezer, Tencent, China. I'm not sure what
It's
these
boomer
what
shit,
this other icon is here. So it appears that streaming 2.0 is about them having an intention, a strategy towards monetizing music on so.
And that's why last year so many artists, not so many artists, but a lot of the big artists dropped their songs on Instagram, you know. There's a lot more to it, you know.
Social media and through the streaming distributors. I suppose that there's already some sort of profit there, especially on YouTube. My understanding of the way that the music worked on TikTok was that TikTok had a license or has a license with the Universal Music Group so that the music can be there and that the music can be used for free because they were using it, they were looking at it as a promotional vehicle. But if they're trying to turn that into a revenue stream, that's really interesting because the margins on TikTok are small anyway, even for like the people who make the videos. Like the amount that they get for.
Well, if I understand what he said, they're not involved as far as like the streams, the music gets there is free, so maybe that's why the margins are so small right now.
For content creation as a person on TikTok is like much smaller than what you get for creating on YouTube, for instance, because YouTube can put advertisements in the middle of a video. You can't do that in a TikTok. So you can have an advertisement before or after a TikTok, but it's typically much less visibility, which means much less revenue for the content creator. So if you're already dealing with a smaller margin, and now Universal is wanting a piece of that as well, wow. Again, if Universal and a Spotify, for instance, wanted to do better by artists or creators, it'd be very easy. It'd be very easy. It would be less profiting giant corporation and more profiting towards the people who make the shit that you sell. That would be
It'd be easier for Apple Music to do it because, I mean, Apple, you know what I mean? Biggest company in the world and shit. Is it still?
the easy way to do it. It doesn't look like that's what's going to happen here. Music subscriber growth outlook historically underestimated. Previous estimates, future subscribers in 2023, 400 million. Paid subscribers will rise to 336. Okay, so paid subscribers were way more than that. Okay. All right, so I see what they mean now. Current consensus predicts 1 billion subscribers by 2028.
Let's give Michael like.
Music powers engagement across the vast ecosystem. All these corporations. What did Yassine Bey say? You can so many SKUs. This is so many SKUs here. Super fandom will accelerate music industry
Mos Def
economics.
keeps coming up on this
60s to
channel.
90s super fan passion
Not
was
gonna
evident
stop.
midnight on release day as fans waited in long lines. This is so fucking dystopic. We are innovating and developing products and experiences to give super fans more opportunities to engage. We don't need UMG in the merch business. We as artists do not need Universal to be in the merch business. If I want to make a fucking oven mitt, that's on me. Because that product and its margins from the cost of manufacturing it to the full revenue should go to me. And of course, that's a collaboration with an artist. I didn't draw that, right? So I need to pay the artist, and then I need to source the material, and I need to put that on sale to my fans.
Yeah, but the same way like someone goes the same way someone goes viral nowadays, and then they get like a meme coin and a podcast and merch. I guess UMG wants to do the same thing with musicians, you know what I mean? Get someone to go viral and then just do everything for them and just use them as a face. That's been going on forever too, though. You know what I mean? Nothing new. They're just doing it in streaming 2.0.
To pay whatever I think the price is for it. And I, as the artist, not only should have all that money, but because Universal and Spotify pay me a fraction of a penny for the main way people interact with my music, I need that entire revenue stream. Universal does not need it. Sir Lucian Grange does not need it.
Give it to him.
Look at this. They're like
He wants it,
yeah,
though.
we should make fucking cardigans.
wants it, though.
Why? This is confusing too because they're talking.
I don't know, man. Did Drake not have like a line of cardigans around the time Take Me Home? What's his first album called? Take Me Home? What's his first album? He didn't have a line of cardigans when Forever came out?
About how much they've historically underrated how many people will be paying for subscriptions. So they're saying that there's going to be more people paying money into the systems they already control, yet they still feel like they need this too? Okay, I need to stop looking at this. I need to stop.
But they
looking
want it,
at
Mike.
This shit is making me mad. Okay, let's
Kind of dollar is
go
that,
back
dude?
to the article. Sometimes it's better to look at the public information because the private information will make you want to vomit in your chair. UMG Chairman Sir Lucian Grange called the agreement precisely the kind of partnership development that the company hoped for when describing Streaming 2.0. That presentation envisioned a super premium subscription for super fans that could mean things like early access to music, exclusive deluxe editions. They already do the deluxe edition shit. But again, that's so they want to be in the room. They want to have a representative in the room when the artist and the manager are deciding what's going to be on the standard edition of the album and what's going to be the deluxe edition. They want to say in that. They want a part of that
Yes.
revenue. I mean, matter of fact, they already get that. Because again, when you make the deluxe edition of whatever the fuck the new Travis Scott album is and he adds the 6 extra songs, it's not like he's getting a different rate on those. He's still getting.
Which, by the way, Travis Scott, 4x4, pretty good.
His fraction of a fucking penny. So that's already in streaming 1.0. Somebody said in the chat earlier, and I didn't see who said it, but they said OG was the 360 deal. Now they're talking about the 720 deal. That's exactly what this is. Like the extra engagement that they've created, the environment where for us it's necessary. They want a piece of that too. Sony Music Publishing also criticized Spotify's royalty changes and even considered options to challenge them. It's not clear if Sony or any other publishers are in talks for.
I mean, it sounds like they're trying to automate that for, like I said, people who are using like DistroKid and TuneCore and shit like that. But it's also UMG, so it may not even apply to us, Mike. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Similar deals with Spotify because, yeah, now that UMG has made this deal, Sony's going to make a deal. Warner's going to make a deal. I'm not even sure who there's 4. I think there's 4 distributors left. I can't remember who the other one is. My shit all goes through one of the Sony subsidiaries, so we'll see what any of this means for my life. I guess I'll find out soon what it means for my shit. It's not clear if Sony or any other publishers are in talks, but that could change in light of the UMG deal.
It's unclear, Mike.
Billboard notes is Spotify's first direct deal with the music publisher since the Music Modernization Act passed in 2018. Okay. Well, there's a lot to pay attention to here for artists. On first look, to me, all of this shit seems more ghoulish than ever because it just seems like Universal is angling towards shit that they got no business putting their fingers on. But that's from my perspective. And I'm just damn tired of having to adjust around these giant corporations that already make all the money but still seem to want more of it. And it seems to me that they're trying to co-opt the ways in which artists are already using to try to stay above water because it's hard fucking enough as it is. Let me know what y'all think about any of this nonsense. Like and subscribe.
Yeah,
homie, friend.
I don't think that's something that's going to apply to smaller artists, man. But yeah, they're just trying to do like more. I don't know, man. They're trying to get everything to go through Spotify. Basically, they're trying to make it possible to where people don't have to go to an artist's website to get merch, tickets, all that shit. It sounds like it could be leveraged by smaller artists, but people should already be doing that. And yeah, dude, just treat Spotify and all that other shit like a commercial to your music, man. Get people involved in what you're doing. You know, make people care. That's all you gotta do.